Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at Polkadot, which is currently up 2%. Now, the entire market is slowly starting to see a reversal back to the upside. We have a lot of news to discuss, and before we jump into all of that, I want to ask you guys to check out the Discord down below because we've been on an absolute streak. We hit a trade just a few days ago on Agent for 200% profit. Yesterday we hit a trade on ARK for 130% profit with only 5x leverage, and we hit a smaller trade on ETH for around 20% profit. So yeah, make sure you join up. In the Discord, you can not only copy my trades, but you can also copy my long-term portfolio and all of the strategies that I personally use to trade. So yeah, make sure you join up. It'll be the first link in the description. Now, back to Polkadot. So if you remember a few videos ago, we were talking about this entire green zone being a perfect accumulation for Polkadot. You know, this is where we've been accumulating since October, November, all the way through to August. We've been accumulating Polkadot for a very long time. And this isn't necessarily our first rodeo with Polkadot. You know, we've been in Polkadot ever since 2021, right before the massive bull run we had. We, you know, were buying it up for $4, $5, $10 even at one point, which is, you know, the highlight it was at right now. But back in 2021 it rallied to over $55, which is absolutely insane. Now Polkadot has obviously slowed down. There's not as much hype behind it, but I still think it's a good project overall. The reason being is that it still has a strong team. Nothing has majorly changed from 21 in the form of negative catalysts. If anything, Polkadot has just gotten stronger and stronger, as have, you know, multiple coins just through regular progression. And I don't think it's necessarily fair to say that Polkadot is a dead coin yet. You know, we've already gone from $3.60 to nearly $12, which is, you know, a 3x in the span of a few months. And then we did drop back down and we did do the exact same move. So overall, this move has already happened twice, 3 times if we include 21. So it can definitely happen again, you know, and that's why I'm going to be accumulating more Polkadot over here. Another reason is because you can stake it up very, very easily. You know, you can use apps like crypto.com, or you can even use your ledger to stake up. I know crypto.com, which is what I use, gives around 15 to 16% APR. So after that compounds, you know, you can afford to be in a slight loss on your overall entry and just make it back through the staking. And when you're entering already at sub $5, you know, in the $4 range, there's really not much loss to be had. If we go to the absolute low that we've had already, that's going to be, you know, a 20% loss. But over time, as that staking compounds, that loss will just get smaller and smaller and eventually turn into a profit. But I think the market will see a bullish trend one more time. I think we will get another alt season, you know, similar to what we had here. And when the market does start reversing up, your staking will continue to compound. And except instead of earning, you know, maybe 1 Polkadot a day, for example, at $5, you'll be earning 1 Polkadot a day when it's at $10. So yeah, I think it's definitely a smarter move to make, and that's why I'm going to be doing it. Now we also have to take a look at Bitcoin though. As everyone knows, Bitcoin controls the market. So Bitcoin yesterday saw a slight move up, but really ever since this massive wick that we've had, the market has not been the same. You know, this wick got a lot of liquidations out in the market, which means a lot of people lost money. And when people lose money, it means there's less money to invest into the market, which then doesn't allow the market to move properly or really in any direction at all. And that's what we've seen right now. You know, we've been swaying around 100,000 to 93,000 for the better part of, you know, nearly 20 days really, which is really, really insane to see for Bitcoin, when Bitcoin usually is a 5 to 10% move a day, especially in a volatile period like this, just after a Trump win. You know, Trump constantly being on the media right now, Trump being obviously a pro-crypto president, more potential ETFs coming out on Solana, Litecoin, XRP. You know, there's so much news and really good news coming out around crypto that we should really be seeing Bitcoin continue to move higher. However, I think it will take some time to regain the confidence we had, you know, prior to this massive wick, really all the confidence we had here. But when that does happen, I think we'll definitely see Bitcoin climb higher. And, you know, the next target we really have is $114,000 or $13,000 right here. Again, we're going to go for a heat map in just a second, but, you know, this target is very, very achievable, and we'll go for that again in just a second. But we just need to regain that confidence and regain that capital implementation in the market to actually see it happen. We do have ETFs now in Bitcoin, so if we get more major ETF inflows, I think that will be very, very positive. But again, you know, we got ETFs quite late on, so a lot of these hedge funds have been accumulating Bitcoin at very high levels above the 90,000, whereas the retail investors have been, buying up at 20,000, 15,000, even for some, way below where we're already in the multiples for Bitcoin, which is insane. Bitcoin is like the S&P of the market, and to say you've done a 5x is insane. So yeah, I think some hedge funds are swaying away from ETFs, just as Bitcoin is obviously at a high level. So I think that's the main reason why. But if they are able to see that we're able to maintain these levels very, very easily, which we are, we're above 90,000 for a few months now. So as long as that remains, I think there will be more ETF inflows coming out. We already have quite a few coming out on ETH, so I think Bitcoin will soon. Now the heat map. So I always check through the Binance and Bybit heat map, because Bybit is a larger futures exchange, which is what the heat map sort of judges. It's essentially how many traders there are and where the liquidation prices are, because these liquidation prices act as magnets in the market. So you'll see here, whenever there's the most yellow, which is the most liquidations, we'll usually just run up or run down to them. We had a lot of liquidations here, we ran up here, ran up here, ran up, they always get ran through. So we did have a few liquidations on Bybit just below 95,000, which we've obviously now cleared. On Bybit though, only on a lower time frame, like the 24-hour, do we have a few more liquidations below, so maybe they will get hit today, on S&P Open. But overall, we have the most liquidations here on the Binance chart at just under 110,000, and just over as well if we go into a lower time frame. So essentially, we should be looking to head up higher in the very near future. This is $285 million worth of liquidations, which is a lot, and that will need to get cleared out eventually. So that being said, I'd say risk to reward is quite positive to favor us to go up to 110. Yes, we'll need some sort of major catalyst, I think, to head higher. A 10% move. You can see whenever we really start to push up, it's usually catalyst driven, because we'll get a large initial move up, and then all the retail will FOMO in and follow up, which will drive price higher. It's quite rare that we just get a continuational slow uptrend on Bitcoin. So that's the main worry we have, is waiting for that catalyst to come. But when it does, we'll definitely see it rally. But how does that all relate back to Polkadot? Well, when Bitcoin rallies and this thing, Bitcoin dominance, is dropping, altcoins are rallying. So we've already talked about dominance quite a lot in previous videos, but dominance needs to start falling. We have a huge wick here, which usually a large wick to the upside, shows us that it's a top. If we take a look at the percent chart right here, you'll see the same large wick, and these large wicks always indicate a top in the market. So we topped out a lot of times. Here we had a relatively large wick compared to the candles, it topped out and it dumped. Here we had a smaller wick but still quite a large wick to the upside, we topped out and dumped. Large wick, topped out, then dumped. We have an extremely large wick here, and we continued to dump. Now on Polkadot, again, we're looking to accumulate in this entire green box. So if you're not in yet, you can set current market price entry under $5. Your second entry could be at $4.40, even $4. Third and final entry, if the market does just completely dump, you can set it to like $3.60, $3.50, somewhere around here at the bottom of that box. As for take profits, I'd really only look to take profits at least $11.8, the previous top that we had. If you want to be slightly more conservative, you can look at this level here at $8.80 for roughly a 2x. This was quite a large resistance in the past, but overall I'd say target at least a 2x on Polkadot, because after we break through the $11 to $12 mark, once the actual alt season begins, I think we'll easily head to $15, maybe even $20, which will then be a 4x. So what I usually like to do is set one take profit level, quite conservative, whether that's $12, $11 for you, or $8, $9 for you, set one there. Then your second take profit, set slightly more optimistic, where if everything goes okay, we should head there. That could be like $14, maybe $15 for you on Polkadot. And then your third and final take profit should be quite optimistic. If everything goes really, really well, where should we head? Well, maybe that's $20, $25, $30 on Polkadot. So that's how you sort of want to set your take profits. In the worst case, one gets hit. In an okay case, two get hit. And in the absolute best case scenario, all three get hit. So that's usually the way I like to do it and how I think it's best done. Now, if you did enjoy the video, please do make sure to like and subscribe. Again, if you want to be getting trades sent to you every single day from me and my team, then check out the Discord down below. We hit some insane trades yesterday and just overall over the past few weeks. So yeah, make sure you join up. Now, if you need an actual place to trade cryptocurrency, then check out all the exchanges I'm working with down below. Also, I'll leave links to them in the description. If you use my link, then you'll get some sign up bonuses and also lower fees. So yeah, win-win. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.